The Rhythm Economy Part 1. Why consistency outperform effort. Modern culture misidentifies what makes people, companies, and systems succeed. We overvalue intensity, brilliance, and visible effort. We undervalue the one variable that actually governs stability, trust, and long-term compounding. Rhythm, the predictable recurrence of behavior over time. In biology systems, rhythm regulates internal coherence. In social systems, rhythm reduces uncertainty. In economic systems, rhythm produces trust. In algorithmic systems, rhythm amplifies visibility. Is the underlying infrastructure beneath the appearance of productivity. This essay lays on the foundation for the entire Rhythm Economy series, why periodicity matters more than effort, quality or innovation, and why modern tools like Instagram accidentally reveal this with near embarrassing clarity. The missing variable in modern work, rhythm. When people talk about productivity, they talk about working harder, optimizing workflows, creating better content, maximizing output, beating competitors. These are all intensity-based framework. They assume progress is fundamentally driven by how much energy you expend. But when you examine systems that actually sustain performance, human bodies, long-lived business, cloud infrastructures, creator who endure, effort is not the determining factor. Rhythm is. Rhythm is not romantic, it is not inspirational, it is not glamorous. Rhythm is simply the periodic structure that stabilizes a system by reducing prediction error, lowering metabolic costs, allowing external observers to synchronize, creating a reliable waveform of expectation. Effort is not episodic, rhythm is infrastructural. Effort produces spikes, rhythm produces compounding. If a system emits a stable beat, everything around it can align with less friction. That alignment is what we mistake for engagement, traction, or market fit. It is actually the physics of periodicity. Instagram creators as micro laboratory. Instagram is the clearest demonstration of the rhythm economy because it is a closed system with millions of participants and machine whose entire job is detecting pattern. Here is the recurrent pattern observed across thousands of creators. High-scale, high-aesthetic creators with irregular posting stagnate. Mid-scale creators with predictable cadence grow. Warm daily presence beats exceptional regular output. Simple periodicity outperform complex perfection. Users attribute this to algorithm bias, but the algorithm isn't biased. It is following the same rule human brain follow. Predictable recurrence, lower uncertainty which increases return. It is not about discipline, which is moral framing. It is not about consistency, which is productivity framing. It is about systems selecting for stable signals. The algorithm prefers creators whose activity generate clean periodic data. Humans prefer creators whose presence feel regulatable, familiar, expected, metabolically cheap to follow. This is why someone posting daily unedited talking reels can outgrow someone producing cinematic art once every 10 days. It is not judgment of value, it is a reflection of, of temporal physics. The productive suffering bias. Human cultures carry a mythology that effort is morally superior to ease. This manifests as productive suffering bias. If it didn't feel difficult, it isn't legitimate. You see it in academic environments that fetishizes intensity, corporate culture that reward burnout, signaling, emerging economies that equate hustle with worth, online creator mythology that worship grinding, enlightenment era philosophy creating ease as suspicious. The bias is historically rooted, not structurally justified by biological system, say the opposite. Smooth periodic activity increases resilience, irregular effort spikes destabilizes regulation, predictable rhythm reduces cognitive load, chaotic output increases metabolic costs. Economic systems behave the same way. So do social networks, so do algorithms. Effort spikes generate noise, rhythm generates trust. The tragedy is that many cultures valorize the exact opposite of what creates long term stability. Rhythm as a hidden synchronizer. 4. Rhythm is not a habit of routine, those are individual psychological constructs. Rhythm is publicly observable periodicity that allows the environment to synchronize with you. It aligns three layers simultaneously into the regulation, that is the circadian, hormonal, and cognitive cycles prefer gradual, periodic, load, irregular spikes, disrupts regulatory systems. Interpersonal trust, human trust, what they can predict. Predictability is metabolically cheaper than uncertainty. Rhythmic actors are easier to integrate into social and economic loops. And third, machine level reinforcement. Algorithm reward pattern that are stable over time. They need periodic signals to model expected engagement. When a creator emits the same rhythmic pulse over weeks or months, three systems converge. Their own biology stabilizes, the audience learns the beat, the algorithm locks into the pattern. There is a compound effect, there is a hidden mechanism behind growth. Rhythm is not aesthetic choice, it's coherent signal. The grand thesis. The rhythm economy reframes how systems grow, sustain themselves, and generate trust. The thesis is simple. A system output is not defined by its effort, but by the stability of its rhythmic process. This principle explains why stores with moderate products but reliable hours outperform superior competitors, why franchises can release middling films yet maintain dominance, why subscription models stabilize companies, why predictable cloud workload are more valuable than sporadic bursts, why stable governments generate higher civic trust, why families with consistent rhythms experience smooth emotional regulations, why creators with daily or weekly cadence outperform more talented but irregular peers. Rhythm is the economy under the economy. Where rhythm exists, system compounds. Where rhythm breaks, system decay. This series will build the full formal model: biological, economic, algorithmic, cultural, and civilizational.